Good morning. Welcome to Quest Bites. I'm your host, Corinne Cahill. I hope you're enjoying this Friday Eve morning. Thanks for joining us today. We are going to be learning about hot air molecules versus cold air molecules, and we'll watch them fill up and deflate a balloon. But first, we have to play Spot the Quapple. So here is 30 seconds on the clock, and the Quapple board is what I'm going to call it now. The Quapple, of course, is our education logo in the bottom left corner over there. The apple with the Quest Q in it. So let me know if you're able to find it. I was told yesterday that people like it when it's not as easy to spot, so I made this one harder today. So let me know if you can see it. About 5 seconds left. Ready, and did you find it on the heart balloon over there? I made it small, and I made it part of that cursive I, so you might not have thought it was the Quest bite. But that's okay. If you found it, great job. If you didn't, better luck tomorrow because we'll be playing. You just have to be here right at 9:30 so you can get in on the fun. So for today's balloon experiment, you are going to need an empty plastic bottle, a balloon, a bowl of hot water, and a bowl of cold water. For the hot water, tap water works. You don't need to microwave it or boil it because that's just a little too much, a little dangerous. If you do, have your parents help you. And this is a perfect experiment to follow yesterday's because we all have these empty bottles from trying the Coke and Mento explosion, right? I'm using a 2-liter bottle because the bigger the bottle, there's going to be more air inside to manipulate. So the balloon should inflate more. So what is going to happen though when I stick my balloon in the warm water? When the air inside the plastic bottle is warmed, it expands and needs more space. Therefore, it stretches out the balloon. When the bottle is put in the icy cold water, the air is cooled and it contracts, needing less space. Since the mass of air in the bottle is the same, we know that the warm air needs more space and is less dense than the cool air. So let's watch. Let's see what happens when I do this. I have my Quest Blue balloon on my bottle here. When I place it in the hot water, it fills up my balloon pretty fast because it does have that steam that heats up the air faster. And when I put it in the cold water, I sped this up a little bit because it does take a little bit longer to cool off the air since the icy water doesn't produce the steam to work along with it. You can see it eventually getting wrinkly and flopping over. And here's a close-up of that. You can see it getting wrinkly. This is a lot like the Charles Law, which we learned about during the soap explosion experiment. If you haven't watched that one, you'll have to go check it out because that's another lesson you might want to try today. We'll put that link in the comments for you to rewatch. I think the most obvious use of this in real life is hot air balloons. They use an open flame to fill their balloons with air so they can fly. Have any of you been in a hot air balloon before? I have not personally. Not sure if I would, but I love looking at them in the air. They look very pretty. These are some huge balloons too, and they look so tiny because there's so many of them. Can you see some of the cool ones? Oh, I see a spider pig, a queen, I see some bees, I saw an astronaut. Let me know if you can think of any other real life uses of this concept, hot air and cold air, being used in different ways. I hope you learned something today. We will put the instructions in the comments for you to try this lesson. Join us tomorrow because we are going to be talking about simple machines and why you need a pulley in your tree fort this summer. Until next time though, continue onward with your quest for knowledge and thanks for watching.